Pacha pacha.
Every time I always think I press the unmute button and I'm always muted. But yo, what's good? It's me, your guy, all the way from Bed-Stuy, Habo, and we're here for live drawing session number 168. It's good to see everyone, whether you're watching live right now or on the replay. I do appreciate the replay watchers as well. But tonight has a very particular theme. We're gonna be. Why does my body want to start acting weird as soon as I start talking? But tonight's going to be a particular theme. We are going to be drawing characters and creatures and whatnot from the Metroid series, things inspired by it or things directly from the Metroid series. And I'm doing this because, one, there's a new Metroid game coming out in a couple of days. But also, I've been playing through the original Metroid Prime, and I love it. I love it. I don't think I've ever played a Nintendo game that's been this cool ever. Like Donkey Kong, I love Donkey Kong. I love Star Fox. I love all the Nintendo stuff. Like Animal Crossing, Mario, Zelda. I've played all of that. But it's something about Metroid that separates itself from the rest of the pack. It is a completely different vibe, completely different aesthetic, completely different tone. The art direction is, at least for the Prime series, has been like really dope. This is my first time playing through Metroid Prime, and I just like the atmosphere, the music, the sound design, everything about it is just blowing my mind. Like I've been having fun. It's funny because when I was younger, I avoided it. Like I saw it, like I remember seeing it on the shelves at stores, but I just never played it because I was scared. Like games like that used to freak me out. I used to be scared of Banjo Kazooie, so it's a whole different range. But yeah, I just never touched it. And I wish I did play it back then. I wish I played through the entire trilogy as it was coming out, because I'm pretty sure it's a completely different experience, as I'm sure it is because when I played through Mass Effect through the first initial releases when they first came out, completely different vibe than playing it as like a compilation, right? Like the Legendary Edition came out, and it's like it has a different feeling than it did when it first came out because you're not going along with the story for the first time, and also you're not anticipating and waiting for the sequels to come out. So I'm sure when Metroid Prime was first dropping, everybody was hyped, and I'm mad I missed out on that original hype. You know what I mean? I hope you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, we're gonna be doing some Metroid stuff tonight. I'm excited about that. And if you don't know about Metroid, you should definitely check it out. It's really cool. Um, but before we do that, there's some housekeeping that I need to do before we jump into anything else. So right now we have a few events coming up this December, the final month. Congratulations, you made it to December. Congratulations, you made it to December. It's good to be here. It's cold. I love it. So here's the event schedule as of right now, because things may change. But here's the event schedule as of right now for December. So on the 7th, which is this Sunday, we're doing our Creator Circle. It's a toned down, low key, casual version of our, grant writing workshop. It's more of a space for, excuse me. It's more of a space for us to check in with each other, check in on ourselves, discuss any woes, highs, and lows that's going on in the community. And of course, asking for help in brainstorming or ideas or practical things as you see fit. So I advise you, if you are a Black artist and you're not part of the Afro Visionaries collective yet, come on through. I'll add you in. On the 10th, Wednesday, December 10th, we're doing virtual drink and draw, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then on the 13th, our last Afro Visionaries field trip for the year. We're going to the Brooklyn Museum. And I'm really excited about this one because there is an amazing photography exhibition right now of a black, I think she might be either Caribbean or African artist. And I've been wanting to see that. I completely forgot about it until one of our great community members, MS, pulled up and was like, "Yo, we should do this." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." So we're gonna go check that out on the 13th. That's going to be at 2 p.m. You can RSVP with the link that's pinned in the chat right now. And if you're watching this in the replay, obviously you just go to the description and get the link that way. On the 14th, right after that amazing field trip that we're gonna have, is game night. Yo, let me tell you something. We did Among Us. Let me get this off my face real quick. We did Among Us for the game night we just had, the impromptu one. Let me tell you, that's probably the most fun I think we've had since like Overcooked. Because Fortnite is fun. Everybody loves Fortnite, but like the way it got like mad chaotic and petty when everybody's pointing fingers, mostly me. I was mostly pointing fingers at everybody on who was the killer, who was the imposter. So we're gonna run that back. We're gonna do another Among Us. That's gonna be on the 14th. Among Us game night on the 14th from to 9 p.m. And then finally our movie night. We're gonna do a Christmas. We're gonna do a Christmas holiday movie. Just gotta figure out which one. I'm trying to think of some black Christmas holiday movies. We could do. I mean, this Christmas, right? Like that's a good default one. But Chris Brown's in that. Do we want to do that? Do we want to do that? I don't know. But that's what we got going on for December as of right now. As I always say, things are subject to change. There might be new events added or events taken out. So always check the schedule on habtunes.com/schedule. Here is the live stream schedule for the week. Tonight, like I said, 168 live drawing session. And tomorrow, exclusively on Patreon, patron only live, Patreon member live. So come through for that. We're going to be discussing some project work and some personal things that you won't say anywhere else. You don't say it anywhere else. So I highly recommend, if you're already a Patreon member, pull up, because we've got some decisions to make. There's some things I want to talk about and I want your feedback. So pull up for that. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fantastic. And then tomorrow, actually, starting tomorrow, we're gonna be going full in with development of my new comic project that I'm slated to put out like early 2026. And we got the folks rolling in the chat. Look at that. Y'all be on time, man. I appreciate that. What's up to Jazz, Boy Wonder, MS? That you changed the whole thing. I was like, who is that? We getting hacked? MS 1990 something. You were born in 1990? Is the audio weird? Hold on. No. Wait, the audio's not weird? What's going on? Y'all gotta say something. I don't want to keep talking if it's messed up. Is it messed up? Does it sound like static? Is it like static or something? The audio is weird. Okay. How about now? How about now? Blah, blah, blah. This is the Habbo Show, brought to you by Kellogg's. No, brought to you by Hawkins. Hawkins Lab, where we build a brighter future for a better tomorrow. Hawkins Lab. Do I need to do the whole spiel again? Thank you. Yeah, I guess I just had to unplug it and replug it back in. Do I need to do the whole spiel again? That sucks. Come to all my events, join Patreon. That's the whole spiel. There you go. Speaking of Hawkins Lab. So I went to go see, thanks to
someone very kind. I went to go see the Stranger Things, the first Shadow play here in New York, Broadway. And let me tell you, I don't think I've ever seen anything as amazing. Oh, as amazing as that in a long time. I've been to a lot of plays. I've been to a handful of plays. Broadway, off Broadway, off Broadway, school plays, amateur plays, indie plays, backwoods plays, dark room plays, all kind of plays. I've seen many different types of productions. And this blew me out of the water. Oh, this is a keychain. It's got some stuff that's from the play on it. And then there's one that says First Shadow New York. So I'm assuming because it says New York that either they might move it somewhere else at some point, or they just wanted to put that up there so people can brag about, oh, I went to New York. And I got this here too. This is photos from the play that's in it, and it's got like all the information about the actors and whatnot. And yo, so first of all, it's like everything about this, you can tell that every single person that was part of the production loved being here. We're talking the sound design, we're talking the actors, we're talking the costumes, we're talking everything. They was pulling off stuff in this play that I ain't think. First of all, let me just say it this way. They were doing things on this stage that had me scratching my head. How did they do that? Like, legit. I'm not going to spoil nothing. I'm going to speak very vaguely because you might want to see it at some point. You might find yourself in New York, and you might find yourself on Broadway. But yeah, they were doing things. I'm just like, how did you, how? I'm like, what's his name? What's that dude's name that be on the memes? And he be stuttering. He'd be like, bitch. What's that dude's name? He's like a rapper. He'd be like, I'm really enjoying the show. Henny was good. But yeah, phenomenal play. It recontextualizes a lot of things about the show. I would also consider some things a retcon for specific characters, but I feel like this is one of those things where, because every popular TV show or movie or book or whatever, or video game always has like a companion piece to like help aid the story or the universe along. And sometimes you see those things, you're like, I can go without looking at that. I can go without reading that. Da 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 da. Like, I haven't read any Mass Effect comics or books, and I'm fine with that. But I feel like seeing this play definitely adds a lot of flavor to Stranger Things itself, especially in the context of the origins of specific things and people. And again, I'm speaking very vaguely. The audience was really good too. The audience was really, really chill. They laughed a lot. I feel like typically sometimes you just get audiences that are just dead. You know what I'm saying? They just kind of stare at you. So I'm glad that a lot of the jokes and other things that, you know, happened throughout the play, people reacted to, and the actors received that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the most important things. Like, you go into a play, you want to see the audience like cheer and cry and laugh and yell, and well, not yell, but you know. So I had a great time. I definitely feel like I want to go see it again, just to, one, if I can get a different seat. Like, I feel like I would want to be up top, because when I went, I was on the ground floor, like a few rows away from the stage, and I feel like I would want to be up top, observing, looking down. But I don't know. But yeah, fantastic. Also, Stranger Things season 5 is out since the last time we saw each other, and I had a blast watching that at like 1 o'clock in the morning when it dropped. Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving night, or whatever you want to call it. I had a full setup. I was like, I'm gonna go crazy. Well, I didn't even really go crazy, because I've seen other people on TikTok and they had like all kinds of stuff going on in their homes, bro. They had like a full setup. I just had like some Stranger Things branded snacks, and then I got like some pizza and some wings, and I was good to go. I'm excited to see what happens next in volume 2, which is dropping on Christmas. So yeah, man, I think Stranger Things is poised to be one of the best things Netflix has put out, and I definitely, excuse me, I definitely feel like it's in probably like top 10 of my favorite shows, like sci-fi shows for sure, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever you want to call it. I guess it's sci-fi, right? Yeah, sci-fi. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. Um, also, what else did I want to show? I just lost my train of thought immediately as soon as I said that. What I was about to say, I said also, and I was about to transition into something else. I completely forgot. I hate when that happens. Oh my god. Oh yeah. We're trying to reach a goal tonight. So what I would love for y'all to do, there's 3 things y'all could do, because I know a lot of y'all enjoy the streams, enjoy the production here, enjoy the show, enjoy the channel, and I would really appreciate it if y'all could support going a little further. If you don't mind, you can join Patreon. There are 3 ways to support financially. The main 3 things you could do: joining Patreon, because we got some new stuff coming up starting tomorrow on Patreon. We got a live stream happening for Patreon members only tomorrow. Big deal, big things. All right, big things talking, big things popping, little things stopping. We also have the coffee page. All the links I'm talking about are pinned in the chat at the top there. Coffee page. The little thing at the bottom is broken. I don't know what happened to it, but ko-fi.com/habtunes. You can send funds there, or you could do Cash App Zelle, which is scrolling at the bottom right here as well, or Venmo. Sorry, Cash App, Venmo. But we're trying to reach a goal tonight, so let's get that going. Let's get that going. If you are enjoying the vibes, and I'm sure you're going to definitely enjoy the art when we get into that in just a second. But yes, your support goes a long way for the channel, for these streams, for this show, for this production. Everything I do here is funded by you, the people. That's our Patreon members, commissions, donations, all that stuff. All the money goes back into this, and we're trying to elevate this platform and go a little further. I want to go bigger, go badder, go brighter, go bolder, and that's all through us and this community. So if you can find it in your haunts, and you don't want to support the big companies that are taking up all the resources and funding, war machines and shit like that, you want to support Black independent art and media, you want to support something that is real and authentic and personable, and we can actually talk to each other, this is the way to do it. And yeah, I'm just really grateful for everyone that has supported thus far. We actually do have some Patreon and YouTube members in the chat. So shout outs to Jasmine, shout outs to MS for being members of the Patreon and or the YouTube channel. I appreciate y'all for real. But yeah, we're gonna jump into the art. Like I said, we're gonna do some Metroid. Y'all know Metroid? People used to think that's what Samus's name was. Metroid. They used to think her name was Metroid. We want getting some Metroid art and some Metroid music. I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. Well, let's get into it. Did we do the? Okay, yeah, we did. I was like, did we do the thing? Wait, well, let's get into it. Baja. All right. That reminds me, I do want to make some new Hobgoblin emotes, some BB Bemmy emotes. Definitely want to get up on that. Fun fact. I was going to say that too. People used to think that Samus was a man because you couldn't see underneath the armor. It was just big, bulky armor. But also, fun fact, they were supposed to put Samus in Fortnite, but Nintendo wanted that to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive, and Epic was like, nah, we're not going to do that. We want it on all platforms. And Nintendo's like, oh, no, we don't do stuff like that. So there goes Samus. I don't know how that would have worked with the power suit though, because y'all know how Samus works in the power suit. Zero suit Samus would have been fine, but like power suit Samus, which is the most iconic thing, just wouldn't have worked. Unless they would have figured out some way for it to function. I don't know. Who am I? Who am I? When you look at them, bro, I was looking up artwork of Metroids. They're actually really disgusting. I have the art book too. I just realized I need to pull that out. But they're actually really disgusting when you really look at like all of the nooks and crannies of one of these things. Absolutely horrific. Just fleshy and all kinds of nasty. And I learned there's different ones too. There's different types. I thought it was only just one Metroid forever, but there's like Hunter Metroids, there's the Metroid Prime obviously, and then there's like all these little variants and variations and shit. I don't know, but I would say Metroid definitely took inspiration from Alien, if anything. It's a very similar. It's a common trope, but it's a very similar theme that they have going, right? It's like this one lone woman going against the most elite, dangerous predator in the galaxy, right? These aliens are highly advanced. They're highly like efficient at killing and hunting, and they're hard to kill. So yeah, I would say yeah. I mean, I think there was even one game where Metroids crash landed on a planet they wasn't supposed to be, which I think is usually the case for these games, right? I feel like that's usually the thing. But either way, I think it's probably the coolest thing Nintendo's ever made. I think it's underappreciated. I think it's underrepresented. And obviously you want to go for the more like kid-friendly stuff, right? Like Pokemon, Mario, even Zelda sells because it's more kid-friendly. It's not spooky and scary and like super like dark. Right? Metroid is dark. It's mature. At least Metroid Prime. But even the older ones, I feel like there was a lot going on there where it's like you would need to be of a certain mindset to want to play a game like this. There's a lot of backtracking. There's a lot of investigating you do back and forth and solving like very, different types of puzzles and things like that. So like, it's popular, but it's definitely not like, it's clear that it's not Nintendo's priority. Even though we have a new game coming out, it's not on Nintendo's like top 3. You get me? Which is whatever. But I love it. That's what matters. That's what matters. I was thinking Bemi fights a Metroid. We can draw Samus too. Right, exactly. Like the first Metroid game, and most of them are like kind of complex in that way. You know what I mean? It's not like super duper like high level stuff. Like you gotta like be big brain, but it's like it's still more than enough to like throw a lot of people off if they're not used to this type of game. Like even for me, like when my first Metroid game was actually Metroid Fusion, and that was on the GBA. And I don't even know how I got through that as a kid, but I do remember when I was at the final stages of last boss, I had a friend of mine at the time beat it for me because I could not beat the last boss to save my life. He had already did the game. He already did everything. I was like, yo, please, please. Yeah, nah, I love it. Like, I finally was able to give it a chance as an adult. And I'm like, wow. I wish I played this when it was on the GameCube. Wait, no, that might be too small. Hold on, let me do the body first, actually. So, thinking like a little suit, little mech suit, little power suit, that she's in. It's got these big bubbly arms. Maybe she's holding a flamethrower. Metroids don't like fire. I'm not a fan of that. Maybe it's like a big ass flamethrower. Right. Like, ah. Get out of here. I was gonna say time to chill, but it's a flamethrower. How they gonna chill with that? They're gonna be on fire. Time to burn. Okay. And then wow. I don't know why I'm doing an Arnold voice. He was not in any Alien movie. It's funny because it's not even the final boss battle. It's like a regular level. That's the funny part. This is, oh yeah, all this music is from Metroid Prime, the first one. The first Metroid Prime. Which I think I'm close to beating. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But I think I am. I was trying to beat it before the new one came out. On Thursday. That's why my phone gonna be on D&D all Thursday.
playing Metroid Prime 4. Sam's gonna have psychic powers. Everybody got psychic powers. Maybe BB's in the back like, get this nigga away from me. I'm just a baby. Maybe he's shocked at like Bemi coming through with the big flamethrower. Like, first of all, how you get this suit? And why don't I have one? Right, like, whoa. Like, whoa. Whoop. Like, whoa, what are you doing here? What? Now, this is a boss fight. This is boss fight music. This is from one of the bosses in the game. For boss. How many times did I say boss, right? Also, I didn't realize how big Metroids were until I played this game, bro. Like, they're huge for no reason. I thought they was like little bug-like things. These motherfuckers is huge. The size of a 5-year-old child, bro. DB look mad small here. I don't know what that is about. Yeah. Oh, I need to save this. Would this be considered? Well, if it's the two of them, no. I was gonna say this is considered fan art, no. Not necessarily. I won't. Goblins versus Metroid. I just learned where clip farming was. I learned that earlier this week. It's basically, and now it makes sense given the context of some of the things I would see sometimes. Like, you know how you'll see a lot of those podcast videos where it's like they say something crazy? Usually it's because they're trying to get people to come to their podcast or come to their video or whatever the case may be. They'll say something outlandish, right? They'll be like, they'll say something like Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson or some shit like that. And then they'll go on to like this little tiny little rant. And it seems like it's coming from their soul, like, oh my God, yeah, you know, and then they might walk it back on the next video or the next podcast episode. And all they was doing it for was for people to come watch their show. And I was like, oh, that is really smart. But also doing it that way brings a lot of negative energy towards you. If you're saying like super controversial, stupid shit like that, you're just gonna have a lot of people coming at you, thinking you're a moron. So I'm thinking, how can I do that, but not in a way where it's gonna be like people think I'm stupid? Like I want to say controversial stuff that's fun and like
helpful, not that's gonna put me in the middle of a flame war. I want to practice Samus. Bro. Like, her armor is so cool. Samus's armor is probably some of the coolest space armor I've ever seen in my life. Like the Metroid Prime version. Oh my god. Oh my god. Tough. Like, if I was clip farming and this was like a gaming channel, I'd be like, oh, Samus could take Master Chief easily. Obviously, that wouldn't really matter because that really depends on who's writing that story. But that would send people into a rabid fervor. What do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. Master Chief, he did blah, 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 blah. He punched a hole through the moon. You know what I'm saying? No, then people be like, well, Samus, she ate a Metroid and became a Super Metroid. Like, it would go crazy. It would go crazy. You could do something like that. You could really do something like that and it goes crazy. You know, now that I think about it, her helmet almost kind of seems like a Metroid. I might be bugging. But it kind of looks like a Metroid. They said Samus is like 6 feet tall or something like that. Like, imagine somebody in big ass power armor walking up on you, they 6 feet tall. Wow, spam at 8 o'clock at night, bro. A spam call at 8 o'clock at night is crazy. This is the armor she had when she first landed. The one I'm looking at. Before she got the big pauldrons on. Which I think the pauldrons are iconic, but I like this slimmer version too. It's got like a vibe. Like she could be stealthy. Oh my God, I'm so rude. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? Did y'all celebrate? For those that celebrated, how was everybody's Thanksgiving? I should have asked that the first. That should have been one of the first questions I asked y'all. Because we haven't seen each other, technically, since, what, last week, the week before last? Some of y'all I saw in, in Discord for the game night, but not everybody. Like, it's like more slim. Yeah, it's more slim in the leg, but still it's like slim and bulky at the same time. I think I went too hard right there. right, that's decent. You like how I drew the hand? Oh, thank you. How's everybody Thanksgiving? What'd y'all do? What'd y'all do for the holiday if y'all didn't celebrate? Did y'all have a day off? Thanksgiving was cool. You did traditional thing and went to a restaurant with your cousin. Ooh, what kind of restaurant? I low-key, I paused because I was like, what restaurants would be open? Because I feel like, especially like around this time of year, a lot of places would be closed. Except for like the Chinese spots, especially on Christmas. A steakhouse. Oh, shit. Excuse me, big dog. My bad, big dog. I didn't know you had it like that. You was going to the steakhouse. Excuse me. That's Mob Balls Woods right there. It was packed out, but it wasn't packed for you. You feel me? They saw you coming. They was like, oh, Miss Woods. Your table, your usuals, right here. It's right here. We saved the spot for you. We even kept it warm. They be keeping it warm. You volunteered for meal service at a church. Oh, that's lovely. It was wild and amazing. They had drag performances. Wow. That's very progressive. That is very progressive. There's a little Samus action there. We'll practice Samus. I really liked in Smash Brothers Brawl when Pikachu and Samus was basically homeboys. They was homies. That was so cool. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up right now. I need that picture. Like, that would be a dope crossover. Like, outside of Smash Brothers. Pikachu and Samus bounty hunting and shit. That shit was hard, bro. You did get seated pretty quickly, exactly. See, because you already know they on that type of time, and they ain't trying to mess with you. They know they gotta respect. They know to put a respect on you. They know how to put respect on you in your name. First of her name, the Unburnt. What's that whole thing they used to say with Daenerys Targaryen every time she pop around? Here we go. Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, the first of her name, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Protector of the Seven Kingdoms, the Mother of Dragons, Breaker of Chains, Khaleesi of the Grass Sea, Protector of the Realm, Lady Regent of the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah. Yeah, they know what to do. They know what to do over there. Don't you pull up? I go, madam. We're sorry. Well, let me see what the other. I need a picture of the other Metroids. There was one I found in the game when I was playing earlier. Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Or today. No, I think it was yesterday. And it was like really different biology. It was like a hunter Metroid, I think it was called. Yeah, here it is. I just found a picture of it. Yeah, isn't that crazy? You do have pull of Khaleesi. Speak it. Come out, you wish. You do have pull. Speak it. I'm serious. That's what we need to do. That almost like something else for a second. It's got these two tentacles that come down too. Listen, we are in. I'm going to make a video about this too. We're in the best time, simultaneously the best and worst time to be who we are. Hold on. We are simultaneously in the best and worst time to be artists, whether it's visual art, costuming, music, whatever the case may be, because we no longer need a lot of the middlemen that gate kept or used to be a barrier to whatever level of success that we needed, right? Like now you can go direct to your audience or direct to consumer, however you want to call it. I can't wait to finalize these sketches. You can go direct to consumer, direct to your audience without any barrier, and you could do it however you see fit. Before you had to, like, I remember Pilar was telling me that she used to, I think she walked over into like the Nickelodeon studio to get a job there, like here in New York. Was it Nickelodeon? It was one of them. It was one of the I think it was Nickelodeon. It's like you don't have to do that now. You don't need to do that now. You can have a Patreon. You can have your own shop set up. You have your own website that leads to these different things. You can distribute your art any way you want. You don't even need 1 million followers anymore. That metric is dead. You can have like 500, 1,000 people. It's not about the size, it's about the quality, right? So you can have 1,000 or something followers, 1,000 or something fans, and those would be the most dedicated fans in the world because they know you, they love what you do. So I'm telling y'all, big up yourselves. Even when we joking, it's like big up yourself, right? Have that Khaleesi power in you, right? It's like we want to have this success. We want to have those accolades and get into those rooms where the things happen. As Aaron Burr would say, I want to be in a room where it happens. It comes with that attitude and doesn't have to be like on some Kanye West shit where you just braggadocious and sounding stupid all the time. It could just be you bigging up your projects, bigging up your art, speaking confidently about yourself, and also being vulnerable. We have the ability to showcase more of ourselves than we have had in a long time. People want to see that, especially now with the rampant and unadulterated use of AI. People want to see you for who you are as an artist. You don't have to be like, oh, come with me to the bathroom while watch me brush my teeth. But people are interested of the person behind the username, the person behind the screen. Like you can have your own newsletter, you can have your own distribution, create your own events. It's not how it used to be, man. It's so much easier now. It's way easier now than it's ever been. If you got a phone, or a computer, you could do whatever you want. Really. Yeah, Jasmine, you the only texting in the chat right now. You're outnumbered. Oh no, this is gonna be cool when I finish, when I like really get into it. So we got this one, we got this sketch. Bemi and BB. What's something that's also like very Metroid-y? Dark Samus. Ooh. Nah, there's somebody else in the Afro Visionaries group that's in Texas, that's from Texas. I'm pretty sure there is. Oh, Dark Samus looks crazy. See, I really wish Nintendo would have released Metroid Prime 2 and 3 before this new one came out. That really would have been cool. Because I've never played the second or third one. I had a demo disc of Metroid Prime 2, but I never had the full game. But I would really love a Metroid game where you just didn't start all over. It's like every time a Metroid game starts, Samus be having all her weapons and armors and stuff. She'd be like top tier, and then something happened to her. She gets knocked out, and then all her abilities go away. She got to get them all back. It's like, let me start with like 3, or like do a thing where you can just upgrade them to make them better. There probably was a game like that. I feel like there probably was a game like that and nobody liked it. Same thing with Zelda. It's the same freaking thing. Every Zelda game, you start off brand spanking new. You gotta get all the weapon, you gotta get all the gadgets and tools all over again. It's like, dang, bro. Let Link start off right, man. Get him some equipment, a sandwich. You know? Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. What other Metroids are there? Is that the only one? Oh, ew. That looks disgusting. There's another one that looks, it's like a beetle. It's like a floating beetle. It's called the Alpha Metroid. Oh. Okay, I remember Omega Metroid from Metroid Fusion. I remember that one. That was pretty nasty too. So these, the ones that look like little brains, the ones with the little floating, the most iconic looking ones, I think those are like the babies, right? That's like the baby stage. Is that the larva stage? Or is it like a separate species? I'm gonna just look all this stuff up. It's so interesting. Oh, that one looks crazy too. There are a lot of, yeah, exactly. There are so many ways to achieve your dreams. It's not always going to be easy. I'm not balling yet. I'm not where I want to be yet at all. But it is a lot. Like what I'm doing right now, I probably couldn't have done 10, 15 years ago this easily. Streaming, having a YouTube channel where I'm like doing all these specific topics and things like that. We're in a different era, a different mindset now. I think there's more video essayists on YouTube than there has ever been in its lifetime. Like, I got some ideas for videos that I want to do. We're gonna talk about tomorrow on the patron only live. I got some ideas for videos I want to do because there's so much I want to share with y'all, and like I want to be able to motivate y'all too, you know, to do what you need to do, or do what you have to do to get where you want to be, right? Because a lot of people get intimidated by the amount of work that you have to get into to even get off the ground. Like it's not like you gotta, it's not like you roll out of bed and then boom, you're viral and you're famous, and then you selling stuff to collectors worldwide, or you're at the biggest fashion shows or whatever. You have to really like put effort and planning into this shit. I spoke to somebody a few weeks ago, and this person wanted to put on this really great project, really great, very ambitious project. And once I helped them lay out like what they had to do, they kind of backed down from it. Not kind of, they did. They backed down completely from doing this project. Because it would have required them to really step outside of their comfort zone and make connections in spaces that they're not used to. And you can't beat around the bush with this kind of thing. You can't be a punk when you're doing this kind of stuff, and that's not to sound mean, but you can't be a punk when you're doing this kind of stuff. You have to have a strong backbone to really get this going. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be music, it could be animation, it could be anything. This is a dirty, nasty, competitive world full of dirty, nasty people. And I'm saying, and this is not me saying you have to be dirty and nasty too, but you do have to be a little tough, a little thick skin, because there's going to be things that people do or say that's going to really throw you off, or possibly potentially throw you off. And people are not mean online. Forget in person. You really won't get that in person, but online people can be very mean because they can hide behind the anonymity. They can hide behind those screens so they can say whatever they want to say, but they would never say it to your face, you know? But like the mainstream thing and all these different these different ideologies and mindsets that a lot of people use to get to where they are now aren't the same as it used to. It's not like that anymore. This is not that world anymore. Like, you literally can publish your own comic right now if you wanted to. You could do it on your own website, you could do it on Instagram, you could do it on Gumroad, you could do it anywhere. You can get it printed from Mixam. Is it Mixam? Yeah. You can get it printed at Lulu. You can do so many different things that don't require you to have to go through some big name company or distributor or anything like that. Again, it's going to be a lot harder because you're not going to have the backing of a major company or big funding like that, but it's still possible. And in the long run, you're better off that way, because 9 times out of 10, there's always some weird backdoor shit they try to do to you. Because look at what happened to Mike Judge and his property when he first started. I still don't even know if he completely owns Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill. Don't get me wrong, if Netflix knocked on my door and they were like, oh, we want to make a Habtoons themed show, I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna make sure like that contract is airtight. But like, I can put out my own cartoons and comics and everything now, and have been. I'm a published author. I'm a published comic artist. I've exhibited my work in galleries around this city. I've spoken on panels for conventions and events. And that had nothing to do with me going through these old school channels of like having to bend over backwards or whoever and whatever, you know what I mean? Sometimes the feeling of an idea feels better than the actual process. Oh, absolutely. Don't get it twisted. I get that same feeling. I do. I get that same feeling. Sometimes when I start something, I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? Right? But then I see it through and then it turns out to be amazing. Like when I put up my first solo pop-up exhibition, that was a huge task that I did not realize what I was doing until I was midway into it. And I did that by myself. Granted, I had help on the day of the exhibition. There was somebody helping me put the work up. But as far as creating the work, designing the layout of the space, catering the food, hiring people for performances, all these different things. There were so many different things that culminated into this pop-up solo exhibition. Daunting task, yeah. Worthwhile, absolutely. But that's what we have to do. And you'll see so many, and I hate when our people do, but you'll see so many white artists just pity market their way to the top. Woe is me, I'm so poor, I'm so broke, I so pale. It's so hard. And this is not me discrediting things that people go through that are actually rough. But we know the difference between people that are struggling and people that are just meandering their way through shit. And I hate to see when our people do it. White artists get to be mediocre and do stupid shit, and they get tens of thousands of dollars, millions of followers, all these different accolades and all this stuff because they wham their way to the top, to winning. You get what I'm saying? Drawing's over now. Now we're talking. But like, it really bought, like I see it so much online. We live in two different worlds, right? There's the world, the multiverse of the internet, and then there's our real, the physical analog world. And the virtual world is so rife with nonsense and misinformation and jealousy and misdirection. It's insane that people even get ahead at all. Like that whole thing with the lady with the stickers on Threads, that was so terminally online, bro. Like nobody else I knew about that. The lady that used the AI stickers and claimed they was hers. You feel me? Like, and she was able to woe is me her way to how much money? How much money she made off of that? $10,000 worth of sales? If a black person did that, if a black artist did that, they'd be like, oh, you broke ass hard R. You know what I'm saying? That's why I do what I do. What I try to do is to give y'all information. I'm no expert. I'm not some profound person with like some big degree or whatever the case may be, but I'm someone that has experience and actually has been awarded grants, who actually has exhibited work in public spaces, not just putting shit online, because we got to do both. I think it's really important. At this point, if you are an artist, you have to play the game of being an online presence. I think that's part of it now. I strongly believe it's part of it now. Had I not started this YouTube channel, had I not gotten into streaming on Twitch, I wouldn't have gotten a lot of these opportunities that y'all seen me do. Unfortunately, we have to be content creators too. And I use that term very loosely because y'all know I don't like using that term. But like like there's no feasible world now where you're creating art and you're just putting it up online and then you just let it sit there and it does something. That's very rare. That doesn't happen anymore. That's very rare. There's a guy on Threads. I can't remember his name right now. He's a painter from North Carolina. He started doing this little trend that I mimicked. I don't know if he got it from somewhere else, but I mimicked that too. But like he started this little trend of like it costs $0 to support a black artist from blah blah blah, and that landed him clients because he was posting himself, he was posting about his work. He talks about other things, you know what I'm saying? There's like all-encompassing thing. That's what people want to see these days. It's no longer this whole thing of like, look at me, hold on. I remember fighting that boss. That was loud. That was distracting me. You only know about Stickergate because of me. I only know about it because of God, I don't even know who I saw it from. I forgot who I saw it off of. But what I'm saying is, in order for us to be successful, we have to play the game a little bit. Look at the music industry as an example. A lot of artists either start their own streaming channels or they get on with another streamer. Case in point, T-Pain. T-Pain has his own YouTube and Twitch channel. Timbaland started his own Twitch channel during lockdown. And he also goes live on TikTok. So many artists that we know of from our generation and some of the new people too have gone on Kai Cenat streams. Drake, Nicki, can't think of nobody else top of my head, but so many different types of people. Because that's the world we're in now. And again, it doesn't have to be like a whole like watch me eat burgers and change my underwear. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be all up in your face and you gotta, you know, be super whatever. Like you don't have to be a vlogger or nothing like that. But putting up something that people can see you and know about you and learn about you outside of you just posting your art would I honestly believe would benefit you as it's benefited me. Pick whatever platform you like the most and just start putting stuff out on there. Even just showing people your process too. It's like, oh, here's a illustration of Sailor Moon I did, and this is what inspired it. Da 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 da. You know, something like that. People like that. I like that. The pause you made, I made that pause because Timbaland has become a shill for the machine of AI, the industry of tech and AI. So like when I mention him, it is like begrudgingly, but he also has done things that made sense in regards to how he's transitioned over into this new age of artistry. Aside from the AI. Oh, you know why I made the pause? Okay, my bad. I was just explaining it in case somebody watches this in the future and they're like, why did he do that? So I'm glad you said that, because then now people know why I said it. Um, but yeah, so many people that we know, big name people, right? Or even like the new age folks or whatever you want to call them. They're all doing some form of either streaming, video production, content creation, or whatever the case may be that encompasses their main artistry. Because, for instance, I do want to get back into gaming at some point, but I just want the focus to be my art first and then get into the extracurriculars, because you don't want to muddy the waters. But because I used to game a lot and I used to play like old school classic games like Spyro and all that stuff, people started to follow me. And then eventually some of them filtered through, trickled down, and got into my art. And some people became Patreon members. Some people bought merch. Some people just started to show up to streams all the time. So it really helps to just show people more of who you are, the things you're interested in. And I'm still at ground level, so like I'm learning as I'm going and as I'm building. But these are things that I've experienced that have benefited me in ways that wouldn't have been possible had I not gone down the route that I'm going down. Had I not been present, had I not made the video essays about the Good Times reboot, right? Had I not been part of Virtuous Con, all these different avenues and opportunities. When I go out, I try to show my face wherever event I'm at, shake hands with people, get to know them, follow them, and then next thing you know, you're in an exhibition and you're selling your work. You get what I'm saying? Y'all get me? So like these are the things we have to do. These are the things that we need to do. It's really important. And at some point, like, if possible, getting representation. I think having someone that can help you along the way, or having like a team behind you, would be greatly beneficial. I would love to have a team behind me. I would love to have some form of representation, like an agent or something like that, because I think that's integral as well. That's part of it, and that falls in line a bit with like the old school ways to a degree, but I think it's incredibly helpful. So like what I want to build here with my platform, yes, I want to put out my own original cartoons and comics and characters, but I also want to be a vessel of information and resource for y'all. That's why I was doing the Artist Opportunities newsletter, right? That's why I do the grant writing and research workshop. Because what I've noticed is that there's so many people that will get opportunities or do these different things and they never tell other folks how to do it. They just stay in their lane because of whatever stupid reason. They're scared, they're jealous, or they don't want people to be at the top with them. It's lonely at the top. But I want to be a resource. I want to be a throughway to other avenues that we can all benefit from. Demystify and dismantle gatekeeping in the art world. How to get your first exhibition, how to put on something solo, how to land that grant opportunity, where to find residencies and art collectives, other avenues of income and money making as an artist. Like these are the things that I don't see people talk about earnestly, and these are the things that I would like to dive into more. It's important. Because most of the things that a lot of these folks will tell you, they'll be like, "Oh, you need to do this, and you need to buy that, and you need to do this, and you need to purchase this thing." And it's like you don't necessarily have to spend too much money to get going. Like a lot of people will tell you, you need a website. You don't need a website. It's nice to have. It's nice to have a landing space, a hub for all that you do, of course. But you can just have a link tree and have that link to other things that you're doing, right? You can use your, a lot of people nowadays just go straight to your Instagram, right? You go out, they don't ask for your website, they don't ask for a card, they ask for your Instagram. And that's why I fixed mine up, because I'm like, oh shit, that's the new business card in a sense. Still have a website and stuff, but like, yeah, make sure your Instagram looks good. But you get what I'm saying? It's like a lot of these folks, they'll be like, pay me $500 for this course and I'll tell you how to do absolutely nothing for 16 weeks. It's all part of this cyclical game of getting your hopes up and making you spend money. My opportunity newsletter and the grant writing workshop and any other thing that is more forward facing in terms of giving information and sharing resources, I don't charge for that. What I do charge for are commissions and my comics and my merch. I prefer people to throw money at my projects. But when it comes to this stuff, like there will be, of course, like at some point, like if I do things in person because I'm going to be in a physical space, I would probably have to charge, but it wouldn't be nothing crazy. But because everything is virtual right now, it's nothing. It's free. I recently heard about an agency for visual artists. I didn't know visual artists had agents. Yeah, they do. Yeah. You can get representation as a visual artist, and depending on what you are, who you are, it can benefit you in different ways. So, uh, like painters and sculptors and stuff like that, they have agents. Some, not all, that help them find clients that are looking for particular types of fine art and work in that capacity. There's also people who find you gigs as comic artists, right? Or children's book author. A lot of people look for children's book illustrators. They look for a very specific style. One of our community members, Morgan, just signed to an agency that focuses primarily in children's book illustrations and covers. And if they're good at their job, you'll be landing gigs left and right because they also make money from that connection. They're motivated to find you something because they need that income too. It's lucrative and it's heavily saturated and very particular. Children's book authors are very particular. That's why you don't really see things go away from specific styles. Like children's books typically have very similar visual aesthetics. You won't see one that's too far off from what you've seen before. and it works. That works. That works. You don't want to do something that breaks the mold and people start freaking out or whatever. But if y'all are picking up what I'm putting down, put a blue heart in the chat because I feel like I've been talking for a minute, and I just want to make sure we vibing, we clicking, we vibing, and we clicking. And if you're joining us or you're new here, what's good? It's me, your guy, all the way from Bed-Stuy, Habbo, and we are chatting. We were drawing some Metroid themed artwork, but we are chatting right now about art career stuff and how things have changed through time. Because they say, oh, things don't change, but look at how everything works now through TikTok and YouTube and all across social media. It's so different now. People make money just from eating food in a car. But yeah, we are chatting about that. And if you are so inclined, you want to support the things that go on here, this entire production, this live stream, the channel, and everything else in between, I implore you to join Patreon. Patreon.com/Habtoons pinned in the chat at the very top there. Patreon.com/Habtoons is where you'll get all the exclusive things you won't see anywhere else pertaining to my projects, events, and so much more. Your your contribution goes a long way in aiding the growth of Black independent art and media. And I want to go big. I want to go bold. I want to go brighter. So I implore you to join the Patreon. This is how we keep things running. And I'm very grateful for my current Patreon members. And I'm looking for more. I want to reach 500 members, paid members, by like April. That would be cool. Is that a decent goal? 500 by April? I think I could do it if I really put my nose into the ground, or whatever the term is. But yeah, that truly helps with everything that we do because it costs money to be here. The lights, the internet itself, the subscription I have to pay for my programs that I use to draw in. So many different things, bro. So it helps. And I appreciate everyone that has already joined. You can join for just $1 a month, and if you go to a higher tier, you'll get all the benefits that I talk about and access to our Discord where we have a bunch of really dope events. We have one coming up very soon. We have a lot coming up very soon. We have a game night, movie night, and so much more. But yeah, Morgan's art style does fit perfectly for children's books. Yeah. Have you seen her versions of BB and Bemi? They're really fun. She also did yeah, she did a few epic Ethel characters a few months ago too. Things have changed a lot in the art world. 10 years ago, artists would boast about going to art school like Cal Arts. Now the same artists are making videos regretting about. Yeah, I've seen that. I wanted to watch. There was one that I had it like bookmarked or whatever. I had it saved to my watch later for like a year, and I just never got around to watching it. But yeah, the world is very different. Even more recently than 10 years ago, because I dated this girl who went to Pratt and she thought she was hot shit. She hated digital art for some reason, which was a conflict between the two of us. I don't know what this was. And when she graduated, instead of getting like the big fancy job that she was aiming for, she ended up working at Starbucks, which is not a bad thing, right? But the pretentiousness and the gall, right, to have this very aggressively detrimental outlook on things and only to end up working at a coffee shop when I know people who didn't go to art school who are highly successful and we're talking they're making thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. Clientele from around the world. Being collected by some of the most wealthy, you know what I'm saying? You can go to an art school, but going to art school isn't the end goal. And I'm not saying don't go. I think everybody has their own path, to each their own. And I think there are some benefits to attending an institution because you have that. I think for one, you have that instant community, like you're kind of forced into it in a way. You got your professors, you got your classmates, et cetera, et cetera. So there's that camaraderie that you get there by default. So I say, if you feel like that's your path, do that, but also examine what's actually happening outside in the world, because a lot of the people that I know that went to those institutions within the last 5 to 10 years or even further back than that, they don't know the landscape. They don't know the landscape. You know a good amount of alumni that hate Pratt. Really, I would like to talk to them. Are they black? Especially since a lot of those art schools are disconnected from what actually goes on in the industry. See, we're on the same page. I just had said that. Yeah, there's if there was like a throughway from the schooling to practical real world experience, I think you would see a lot more successful graduates. But it's really it could be either. Hold on, where my hands at? It could be either or. Because I know some people that went to art school that are also doing extremely well and in the same, boat as the person I know that didn't go. But I do know this is that you still gotta put in effort, regardless whether you are a graduate or indie, self-taught. You still got to put the effort and the work in, be it analog or virtual. Because the whole like I'm shy thing don't work no more. It really don't. You see a lot of those meek and meager white artists online that be doing that shit, and it's like, and I never want to discredit anyone's experience, but I also know that there are things happening and there are opportunities and there are plenty of resources to at least get a foothold somewhere. It's not going to lead to a mountain of money instantly, but it's a start, right? Like you gotta try. It's just interesting how gatekeepy cartoonists and animation can be when it comes to the process of becoming an artist in those fields. And that's the thing too. Like I know a lot of the cartoons that I be laughing at be from YouTube and TikTok. Independent animators. They didn't go to school. One of the biggest series on YouTube right now that won awards at like South by Southwest and is critically acclaimed is an independent Canadian cartoonist. And I watched him go from the bottom to the top. He used to do live streams, and he still does, where he works on the episodes in real time. He does the music, he does the animation, he does the voices. He also gets other people to help him out with some of that stuff too, but he primarily was the sole person in the very beginning in the beginning. So a lot of that gatekeeping stuff don't matter no more unless you're like fully ingrained into that particular side of the industry. It don't even matter. You can circumvent half that stuff. There are people. There's a lady that got a show on Adult Swim as a black cartoonist. She got a show on Adult Swim out of nowhere. And I want to say out of nowhere, like it just fell into her lap. But I guarantee you, it had nothing to do with any of the elder statesmen of animation. That's another thing too. Just pitch shit to people. Just pitch shit. You can Google how to make a pitch deck. Oh my God, yes, yeah, that's the name of the show. I wanted to connect with her and I completely forgot about her until just now. But like, it's a different world. It's a different world. It's so much easier now. Everybody in this chat has internet access and a smartphone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so much easier now. I'm gonna be honest with you, I couldn't really get into it. I watched like maybe 2 or 3 episodes. I couldn't really get into it, but I do appreciate her existence, and I love the fact that she has a fan base that is from a mainstream network, and that's amazing to be a black woman independent artist and have a moderately popular show on one of the biggest networks in the world. Not for me, but I'm glad other people can enjoy it. Anyone can be an artist. It can just take a lot of dedication and practice. Folks shouldn't have to be hung up on what school they have to go to and what supplies they need. Yeah. But that's what people tell you to do. They tell you to get the fancy tablets and the art supplies. You got to get the what you call it markers, and you got to get this type of pencil, and you need this premium paper, and you need to go to this fancy ass art school in California or this fancy art school in New York, and if you don't, then you don't matter much at all. That's what they tell you. Does it help to have certain things? Absolutely. Does it help that I live in New York, so I have easier access to certain groups and opportunities? Sure. But I think you could also do the same thing if even if you lived in Wisconsin, it would just be a lot harder. That's why I'm not moving. I'm staying in New York forever because I everything is within arm's reach. But like, you can put something online, you can share it with the world, and then it becomes this big thing, and now you're at South by Southwest. Now you're screening your film in front of the real deal tastemakers of the world. I think through his that it's interface Umami, who I'm talking about. He did some shit with Adult Swim because of that. I think he did like 2 or 3 Adult Swim bumps because of that. I think it's more important to be an artist, to be in an artist community, mainly for motivation and sharpening ideas and skill sets. It has to be something, it has to be an artist community that is motivated and actually does what they need to do. That's the thing. You need to surround yourself with people who are actually properly outside and making the moves they need to make to get further with their career. Because you can be part of an artist community and y'all just meet up like once every 2 months and they're like, hey, Haha. And it's like, no, what are you up to? What are your goals? What do you need help with? What are the next tangible items that you need to, or the next tangible steps you need to take to meet your needs? Oh, here's this opportunity I found. You should apply to this. Oh, I met someone the other day. I think this would be good for you. That's the type of community we need to be in. Because a lot of the time, a lot of these little communities, they just be floating around. So I agree. It's important to be part of an active artist community. Those who are goal oriented, those who are motivated, and those who actually have a path in mind. Because otherwise, we'll all just be in the same circle, sitting for years and years and years and years and years. It can be frustrating, right? It's like, oh, here come this motherfucker talking about you got to do this, you got to do that. But it's like, we need that. The starving artist shit is a myth. And a lot of people like to live in that because they think that's what we're supposed to do. You don't need to be miserable to be an artist. You don't need to be miserable to make good art. You don't need to be in pain to function as an artist. That's shit that's WPS. You know what that stand for? What do you think WPS stand for, chat? Ooh, I said chat. Ew. Hobgoblins, community. Or as the doctor would say, fam. What y'all think WPS stand for? I tell you right now, I'm not on that type of timing. We will have hard times. We will suffer from things that happen personally or professionally. But we not on that type of timing. Close. White people shit. White people shit. The starving artist is white people shit. I think it was coined by some French dude way back in the day. And it just kind of like stuck and became a thing. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. You bald headed demon. We are thriving. We are working. We are manifesting. Nobody's starving. We're dismantling that. All that, oh, woe is me, the days are long and the nights are short. I can only paint when the sun rests in the third angle of morning's dew. Oh, no, no. I haven't seen any personal. Well, no, that's a lie. No. There's literally somebody I know. There's actually somebody I know that their username is Starving Artist. Something. It's like starving something, something, something. And I'm like, why? Like, we don't need to make that the flagship visual because when we do that, that's how we end up being devalued as creators ourselves because we call ourselves and deem ourselves starving or poor or this or that. Then when it's time to price our work or to have that confident meeting or whatever, people are like, oh, but blah blah blah, excuse, starving artist, blah blah blah. You know, I guarantee you, the capitalists made that a permanent thing so that we can all be screwed for different job opportunities. That's why people go on Fiverr and think everything is worth $5. Fuck Fiverr. Fuck Fiverr. 11. Fiverr. Never mind. I was about to do some stupid bit as Vecna. I've learned how to do a good Venom voice though. Eddie. But anyway, your perception of certain artists you admire, they might be. I think that happens sometimes. We get a little glaze over our eyes looking at somebody. And you're like, oh, you know, it happens. I just remember following artists on IG and YouTube, and the communities they foster were very toxic, either toxic against each other or promoting toxic productivity. Yeah, yeah. I want to rest in the middle, right? We have to be realistic about our goals, right? But we also want to stay motivated too. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, if you believe you can achieve, all you have to do is say yeah. Like, I'm not going to sit here and do one of those. But I will say you need to big up yourself. But you also got to do the work. Rest is important. Do not burn yourself out. That shit is destructive. Why do you think so many people end up passing away? Because they're not taking care of themselves. You see it in the Japanese world of art and animation. You see it over here. You see it in the European side. It's everywhere. People wearing themselves down because they have to do this thing. They have to make this thing. They have to reach those deadlines. You have to do blah, 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 blah. And it's like doom, doom, boom. Now you in the ground. This whole sacrificing yourself for the art is insane. To me, I think that's insane. Sacrificing your body, your mind, your spirit. I'm going to sleep. And don't get me wrong, there are times where I definitely go a little harder than I'm supposed to. Like when I redid my site and I like powered through that. But also like I just wasn't the only thing I just wasn't social. But I took breaks. I got up and I ate, went to sleep, showered. Suffering doesn't help anybody. Self-inflicted suffering doesn't help anybody, bro. At all. But we are coming up on our 2-hour mark. I wasn't expecting to go on a whole little, I don't know what you want to call this, rant. I don't know what this is. But this would be a good thing to watch back so I can write my video about this. But we're gonna get up out of here. I appreciate y'all though, for real, for listening though. I'd be sacrificing my passion, trying to be better. Wise words from Habo. I appreciate that. But yeah. Let me go over to the ending screen because we're leaving. We're getting out of here. Eddie, remember. We're going to the Brooklyn Museum, Afro Visionaries Field Trip. We're going to the Brooklyn Museum. But that's the wrong date. That should say December 13th, not October 13th. I thought I fixed that. But yeah, December 13th, we're going to the Brooklyn Museum. That'll be one not to miss because it's our last one of the year. So you definitely don't want to miss that. We have our Afrovisionaries Creator Circle coming up this Sunday on the 7th. Like I said, it's laid back, it's chill. It's more of a what we're talking about here, where we get together, we have a brainstorming session in real time. We share things that are going on, highs and lows. We ask for help where we need it, etc., etc. It's a check-in. It's a how you doing, bro? How you doing, sis? Type of vibe. So we're doing that this Sunday. You don't got to do anything special except just be a part of the Afrovisionaries Discord, which is free. And if you are a Black artist and you're not part of it and you want to be a part of it, let me know. You can contact me via my website, habtunes.com/contact. And we'll get you in there quick, fast, in a hurry. And if you've been to any events or anything like that, you should have access regardless because I've sent out emails about that. And I'll send another one out soon. I'll send one out probably like tomorrow or Thursday to make sure. Then on Wednesday, December 10th, that is our virtual drink and draw. The final, all these are the final things of the year, man. You got to come to these. Stop playing. Come to them. Come to these events. You better. Virtual drink and draw. That is Wednesday, December 10th, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Pull up. It's a good time. It's always a good vibe. And I love seeing what y'all create. It's really fun, honestly. It's really, really fun to see that. The 13th, like I said, Afrovisionaries Museum Field Trip, Brooklyn Museum. And MS in the chat has offered help with getting free access. So if you want to know more details about that, hit me up, like I said, contact, or make sure you RSVP to the event in the Eventbrite link that's pinned in the chat. If you're watching us in the future, it's in the description, and I'll provide you with that information further. Then on the 14th, the Sunday after that big trip, we're going to do game night. Among Us game night was crazy. We did it on this past Sunday, and let me tell you, probably some of the craziest stuff I've seen in a long time in terms of just like how competitive and antsy and ruthless everybody became. Everybody's pointing fingers at each other. You're the killer. You. I got into my Hercule Poirot bag, which sometimes it worked, and then other times I got innocent people hurt. So you got to come through, man. The game is like $5, and you can play it on any platform, so it's crossplay, whether you have it on your phone, your tablet, PC, Steam, Xbox, Switch, PlayStation, no matter what, it's crossplay. So grab it. And then last but not least, movie night. We're going to do a Christmas holiday movie. I'm trying to think of a fun Black Christmas holiday movie. If y'all got suggestions, y'all can drop them in Discord or in the chat right now if you want to. But yeah, any suggestions of black Christmas and holiday movies, I'm open to them. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it for this week. If you are a Patreon member, we will be having a Patreon member only live stream on the platform on a Patreon, on patreon.com/habtunes tomorrow night. Big things to talk about, big things to share. And this will be the start. Tomorrow actually is the start of like full Moniqua mode, Project Moniqua. If you don't know what it is, you'll soon find out. That's why I was trying to get up. That's why I was trying to get all of the tunes from history stuff out. If you've been looking on my Instagram and stuff, I've been trying to get all of those out because starting like tomorrow and going forward, this is going to be mad Moniqua based art. And you'll see more of that on Patreon as well. Behind the scenes, early access, all that stuff. Patreon.com/habtunes. Join. We are grateful for our members, friends of BB. As you can see here, all these people have been very beneficial. And your name will get listed on the wall, the wall, BB's bulletin board. Your name will be listed on BB's bulletin board. I think I showed that one time on stream. I should show it again. but it's a big little list, of everybody that has supported and helped Habtoons. It's bigger than this one. And BB's there, and he's like all happy and stuff. And he's like, bacha, 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 bacha. You know, it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a good time. But yeah, that's gonna be it. Last holiday. Holiday Heart is crazy. That is definitely not a holiday movie. Last holiday. Okay, I'll keep. That's the one with Queen Latifah where she was like terminally ill and she went off into like this big Christmas adventure or something like that. I think I've heard of it. I've never seen it. If I can find that in a legal capacity, then we can watch it. But that's a good suggestion for sure. But yeah, we're gonna get up out of here for today and this week. There'll be a short up tomorrow. There'll be a YouTube short up tomorrow. Expect some new art as well, like I said. And yeah. Oh, new episode of the Art Block this Sunday. I know I didn't do one for the Thanksgiving weekend because it was Thanksgiving weekend. But there'll be a new Art Block episode up, possibly with a guest. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. But yeah, thank you all for joining me tonight. I appreciate y'all for real. Shout outs to Jazz and MS holding it down in the chat super hard. And I appreciate everyone that is going to watch this in the future as a replay. Those replays really go a long way. If you watch this in a replay, leave a comment. Also, if you watched it live, watch it again as a replay. Put it on in the background. I don't know. All these things help out. Watch hours, watch time, all that stuff is important. It helps the channel out. That ad revenue comes in. That also helps. If you can't give directly, just watching everything over and over again. But yeah, we're gonna get up out of here for tonight. It is 10:03, so we're definitely gonna get up out of here. But until next time, stay true, stay you. We out. Deuces. Bacha, bacha.